Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Valeria or Fluorescence UV over here. Let's get started. First of all, I did 3 looks with this palette right here, this bad boy. This is the BH Cosmetics and Daisy Marquez collab. This is the palette itself. It comes with a very adorable mirror and it has a pretty Tiffany blue inspired box. So this is it right here. And honestly, this palette hands down is so good. BH Cosmetics has very good eyeshadow formulas. Personally, every palette I have, I really like. I'm not disappointed and they're super affordable. Even their brushes are so good. Honestly, if there's a brand that I would have to recommend that is affordable, BH Cosmetics hands down with their palettes is the best thing. I do consider them semi-drugstore because you can get some of the palettes at Ulta. Okay, so let me just give you some information on this. This palette is actually 20 eyeshadows and it is for $23. Today I used all the eyeshadows. I have no bad things to say about this. I do think these are very pigmented. I mean, hello, this color's passion fruit, and it's not like these purples are very pretty and they're very pigmented. I had no issues with that. I use a couple, like I think Matter and Naked were the ones I used the least, also Stunt, but wherever I used them, I really did like how they looked. I used Stunt and Naked on my brow bone, and I used a black, the Matter, so I used it to smoke out a liner. I thought it was personally really good. I have no disappointments. The way of the layout, honestly, it's so beautiful. I love how this is, the top 2 rows are mattes and then the bottom 2 are metallics. When I saw Daisy Marquez video, what sold me the most was the mirror. Honestly, I think this is the most cutest shit ever. I think it's so different from every single palette. Like, who doesn't want to take this to travel and use this little cute boy, you know, to travel with, and you can just use this mirror. I really love this, and it's magnetic as well, so it does stay together. I haven't traveled with this yet, but we shall see. I'll try to take it next time. After using this palette, I do fully recommend it to you guys. I really enjoyed it. I think you can do so many looks. It's so diverse. And another way you can try to use this palette is if you go down the row like this, trying to make color combinations. So there's so many ways you can look at the palette and you can actually do it. So hopefully these 3 looks showed you how you can do it. By far, this has to be my favorite look. I've seen this look so much in Instagram, and I've seen it more with the UK brands, and so Mitchell was one of the makeup artists, so I was like, you know what, this is like inspired by makeup artists in the UK. I think it's like Stacey Marie Mitchell has done one of these type of looks. So yeah, this is what I came up with. I fucking love it. It's beautiful, and I don't know what else to tell you other than go get this. I hope you guys are ready to see the 3 tutorials that I created. This is going to be my last one. So I go from a neutral, and it's more fallish, it's more of a fall vibe. Then I go in for a spring vibe, which is all the pastel colors, and they're super bright, super light. I love it. And then for this look, I feel like it's more of a sunset, summery vibe look. So summer's coming up, so if you like it, keep on watching so you can know how to create it. So yeah, let's just get started on this video. Okay guys, I'm going to start with my full face done. I am going to put on the description down below what I did use for this bee face, and I'm just going to zoom you in so we can get started on the eyes. Okay, so I had to do one eye off camera just so I know what it was going to look like, and I'm just going to show you how I did it right here with the palette. So first things first is use my BH Cosmetics number 5 brush, and then my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot, which is a yellow base, and I'm just going to use that as my primer for the whole look. Now that my eye is primed, I'm going in with the first shade, which is Dulce from the palette, and I'm just using that as my transition color in my crease. Make sure you just put it on your crease and a little bit above so you can have this blended out look. So far so good with the eyeshadow colors. I do like the payoff it gives, so I'm impressed right now. I really like the color combinations that I'm gonna show you guys next. I wanted to do more of a neutrals color, and then I want to go in with more colorful looks, so just stay tuned. I'm super stoked. And this palette is so adorable too. The brush I'm using is my Wet n Wild blending brush. I really love this brush. It's so soft and so cheap. Next color I'm using is Naked, and with my Makeup Shack T37 brush, I'm just going to put that on my brow bone just to highlight it. Next shade I'm using is Vintage and my Jaclyn Hill JH37 brush. So I'm just going to put that on the front half of my lid just because I do want it to be a little bit warmer here. Then I'm going in with the same brush and just Cocoa and just putting that on my outer corner and in my outer crease, making like a wing shape. I am having no issues with this, just blending it out. It's so nice. It blends out all together really nicely. So far so good. I wanted to use as many shades as possible just because it's a big ass palette and you have so many color options. I couldn't resist. Okay, next shade I am using Royalty. All I'm really doing is wetting my brush because I do feel like it shows much nicer. And I'm going to put that in my outer half. Oh, look at that. It's so pretty. In my front half, I'm going to use the shade Bougie. I just feel like when you wet your brush with these metallic shadows, it does give you a better payoff and they do stand out more. And so that's why I'm just wetting my brush just so I can give it the nicest pigment. And I'm just going back and forth with Royalty and Bougie just to blend out in the very middle. So one side I have Bougie and the other side I have Royalty. Then again with my JH37 brush, I'm going back in with the shade Cocoa and I'm just blending the outer edges out. Next eyeshadow I'm using is Cha-Ching on the lower lash line. So with this I'm using a flat shaded brush and just putting it on one side. And then I'm going to put it on my, pack it into my lower lash line. So with the same brush I'm going in with Cocoa and just hiding on top in my closest to my lash line and in my waterline, just to make it a little bit more deeper and just to make the Cha-Ching a little bit darker too. And then the other side of my brush, I'm going in with the shade Vintage, and I don't know if you can tell, but I have it only on one side of my brush. I'm just going to put it where the shade Cha-Ching is just to blend it out a little bit, just so it could look a little bit more smokier, very faintly, just to give it somewhat of a transition shade. Then to create this inner corner, I actually mixed two shades. So the shades I'm mixing are Icy and Bougie. Mainly I'm putting Bougie in first just because it is a little bit darker. Then I'm putting Icy on top so I can brighten it, and it gives me like a light, it gives me a lighter gold. And then again I just go in with Bougie again if I feel like it's too white. So you just have to keep mixing them so they just kind of, you know, look brighter than the lid. To color in my waterline, I'm using my ColourPop Cream Gel Eyeliner in the shade Dirty Talk. I'm going in with my Fisher Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Serum in Ultra Black, and I'm going to line my top lash just so I can give it a little bit more definition, and when I put lashes on they look cute. With an angled brush, I'm just going to go in with Cocoa and Matter and using the two to smoke out this wing. Make sure when you smoke out your eyeliner, you give yourself a little bit of a wing so then it doesn't look too round and it looks more smoked out. Then again with my JH37 brush, just blend it out. Okay, so this is the first look. I'm going to put lashes, mascara, and a lip color for you guys so then you guys can see how you can recreate this look. and I'll be right back. Okay, I have my lashes on. This is how it looks. It is a little bit more dark and smoky, but it is very neutral personally for me. That's why I had to add a little bit of pop of color, but the green is still very neutral, which I'm very liking. It reminds me of the jungle, kind of like cheetah print is on trend right now, so I feel like if you have a nice cheetah print shirt on, it's gonna look so nice with this. I'm debating if I should do a dark lip or a nude lip. I just feel like I always do nude lips. So I'm going to do both and I'm going to just show you guys. I'm going to go in first with my OG Ride or Die Knock on Wood. And then I'm going to use my Morphe pencil in Caviar. This one's actually really cool because you can use it in the waterline and in the lips. So I'm just going to use it on my lips today because it is a little bit darker. Love this lip. I love Knock on Wood. You guys know I use this all the fucking time. Always use it in every single video, every time I do a nude. I do prefer nudes that are more brown tone beigey base, so this is look perfect, but you know a girl can't go without freaking lip gloss. So okay, so for my lip I'm using my Buxom lip gloss in Melissa, one of my favorite nude lips. This is the final look right here with this lip. I do think it's more fall appropriate. I do like how it looks. I am obsessed, to say the least. Let me zoom you into my eyes real quick. So the lashes I'm using are actually my House of Lashes in the Sephora collection in the style Cecile. I'm going to throw these away because they're on their last end. They're breaking off in the corners. But these are very cute, give me a natural look, give me like a little bit of flare on the outer edges. And yeah, so what do you guys think of this very neutral eye? Going in with the same lip liner from Morphe, I'm just going to line my lips. So now with a different color, I'm going to use Chocolate Wasted from Dose of Colors. And I'm just going to put that all over my lips. This look just screams fall. I do really like this. I do want to start giving more options and using different colors of tones. This look is very nice. Honestly, 10 out of 10. Alright guys, so this is the other look. This is more for the fall appropriate, but you can just use it whenever you want. This is my stand on how to keep it neutral. Let's get started on the next one. Okay, so this is the look I created right here, just to let you give you a little sneak peek. I'm just going to zoom into this side so I can show you what I did with the palette. Alright, so the first shade I'm using is Daisy, and I'm using my Morphe R39 brush, and I'm just putting that shade all over my crease. I just did this look because I do feel like I do a lot of colorful festival looks. This is perfect for a festival look, and it's just super colorful. And you know, you can never say no to glitter liner. When I saw these shades, I just thought it would look so perfect. Because it is spring, it is super bright, and I do like how soft and pastel these colors look. Now all I'm really doing is just packing in the shade Daisy into my crease just so it can look a little bit more pigmented. And just make sure you wing it out at the end. So I'm just going to cut my crease, and what I'm using to cut my crease is my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Neutral. I'm just going to use a Morphe M170 just to cut the lid. It doesn't have to be super perfect because we're going in with that liner to give it that divider. So just make sure all you have to do is get your lid space, and then wing it out at the very end. First shade I'm going in right now in my lid is the shade Slime. I'm just using my Makeup Shack T37 brush, and I'm just patting that into my lid right here. And I'm just doing it in the first third of the lid, and it's just gonna go to 3 different colors. The next shade I'm using is Angelic with my Morphe M166, and I'm going to put that in the middle of the lid. So just make sure you tap in between both shades just so you can blend it out. Now for my outer corner, I'm going to use the shade Lucid and just create a wing with it. This one I think is the easiest one I've done so far, and it's super easy to create and it's super fun and glittery. Brush, I'm going to use Passion Fruit on my lower lash line. So just make sure you pack it on first and then blend it out. And that shade, you don't even need a lot of powder. It's just very, very bright by itself. With my BH Cosmetics number 8 brush, I'm going to use the shade Lucid. And I'm just going to pack that into my inner corner just to give me an inner corner highlight. I really like this shade. It's like a light purple pink shift. I do think this is super flattering. I don't know if the color can pick up, but it's not as bright as Icy, and it's more pinkish, and it looks so pretty. I'm going in with my NYX Cosmetics Matte Liquid Liner in the shade Black. All I'm really doing is a thin liner. So the cool thing about this is that you don't have to make it perfect just because this is like a black base for your liner. Now I'm going to use my Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Eyeliner in the shade Volume. And I'm going to put that on top of my liner, and I'm going to cut the crease with that as well. Just make sure when you do the liner, make sure it connects at the very end. So that's a close-up of the eye right there. It's very spring-like and very editorial, but I'm okay with that. I like editorial. Oh, I'm actually going to put it on my lower lash line. I forgot to do that. It looks so pretty on top of Passion Fruit by itself. I think you could just use this as an inner corner, you know, all over the lid shade, and then just put this on top, and that's a look on itself. For eyeliner, I'm going to use my ColourPop Cream Gel Eyeliner in the shade Prance, which is this very light blue. It goes with the look, it gives me spring vibes, and it's all pastel color. So there we have it. This is the eye look so far right here. Now I'm going to go up again off camera, and I'm going to do my lashes, and I'll zoom out so you guys can see what are the lip combos I create with this. So here are the lashes, and the lashes that I'm using are from the Makeup Shack. It's the Styled Eye Candy. I really like these two because they're very flared up at the end, and in the top it's very small, so you can actually see the lid itself without closing the eye, and you have your eyes open. So I think these are perfect for this look. It gives it such a soft girly vibe. So now I'm gonna zoom you out to do my lips. For my first lip combo, we're going to do something super vibrant. So we're just going to go with my Dose of Colors Strawberry Pop, and we're going to go in with my Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit Matte Lipstick in the shade Coral Corruption. This is the first lip option. I do think it's a little bit more out there. It's just a different contrast, you know, so it's kind of cool. I like it. It gives it like a mixture of spring and summer lips combined together. Okay, so for my second combo, which is going to be my Peachy Nude, I'm going in with a Dose of Colors and iluvsarahii collab in Peachy. I'm using my Fenty Stunna lip paint in Unbutton, and then on top I'm putting my Sephora Collections gloss in Fuchsia Fascia because I just want it to be a little bit like a hint of pink, and this gives it that. Okay, and this is the final look with this lip. I do think this lip is more appropriate for it just because it does tie in with the pastel colors. It gives me a peachy vibe, and I like it. So yeah, now we're going to go on to the third look, and this one's going to be the most dramatic one. Okay guys, so this is the look right here, and I'm just going to show you how to do it on this side. So I'm going in with my BH number 7 brush, and then I'm going in with Bittersweet from the palette. All I'm doing is putting it on one side of the brush, and I'm making sure I pat this into the lid and where my inner corner, and my outer corner, and then pat it into my crease. So far, these eyeshadows are so good. I've used almost all of them, and I am fully impressed. I really do think this is a nice palette, a very diverse palette as well. All I'm doing is just patting and patting until I get the pigment that I want. Try to keep it in a C shape because you are doing a halo eye, so just try to keep it really close and tacked to your eye. And then what I did here is just blend it out a little bit just so it looks more diffused. Okay, so I'm going in with my Morphe M514 in the shade Karma, and again I'm putting it on one side of the brush, and I'm putting most of Karma into Bittersweet and then barely blending out this outer corner. This is what I've been seeing Mama Mitchell do on his Instagram videos, so that's what I'm doing. I've been trying to master this technique because I do see a lot of UK people do this technique, and it's a little bit hard because you know you're trying to break out the habit that you have. So for the next shade, I'm using Flower, and then I'm using my BH Cosmetics number 6 brush, and this I'm patting it into the outer corner just to blend everything out. And then just make sure you blend. It's okay if you bring it up to your brow, just because it does give it that blended look. Now going back in with Karma, I'm doing the same thing, putting most of it into the Bittersweet eyeshadow and then just blending it out, and this just makes it look so smooth and just blends like a dream. So next thing I'm doing is using my Garnier Micellar Water, and I'm going to use a flat shader brush, and I'm just putting that onto my brush and cleaning up the crease. So I'm taking off all of this color because when you try to put a red, like such a pigmented color on top, it does get that pink hue on the concealer, so it does mess with the color that I'm about to put in the middle. Just try to wipe it off so that helps out the Bittersweet color not pass into the other shade. As always, I use my pupil as a guide just to see how far it go. Just keep in mind, you know, you are going to extend it and everything, so you'll be fine. Don't think you have to be so precise because you do blend out the outer edges and everything. Now that I cleaned this off, I'm going to use my ColourPop No Filter Concealer in Light 18. All I'm really doing is just coating that in concealer, and then again just put most of the concealer on the bottom of your lid. Look up, and if it didn't go through, put again, look up until you can see a line, which you can vaguely see it here. Then with a clean blending brush, just make sure you blend out the edges. Again, in with Bittersweet, we're just going to pat that in the outer corners just to keep our color mainly there. So with my Morphe JH42 and the shade Lucid, I'm going to put that in the outer corner. It does blend into the blue and the Bittersweet shade. I think it's a perfect transition for this. Go back in with your BH without any product of the Bittersweet that you use, and just tap on top of it just to blend it out. And then again, go in with Lucid just to blend it out a little bit more. So now for the start of the show, I'm using the shade Dream. I am wetting the brush just because I do want the most pigment out of it. Now you just want to make sure you're blending into the sides of Lucid. And all you do is just tap. Then with the other side, just pick up a little bit of Lucid again. And just keep on tapping. With a little bit of Bittersweet, just go on the outer corners. Just to put a little bit more of pigment. Now I'm going in with my Sigma 05E05 brush. And I'm just deepening it right above my lid. I do feel like when you do halo eyes, you do lose a lot of the top. So this just makes it super defined. It makes your crease super defined, and it's one of my favorite tricks. I'm just going in with no extra, with the same brush I used for Karma, but I'm not putting any extra product in it. I'm just blending out. And there you go. Now let's do the lower lash line. For the lower lash line, we're just mimicking what we did at the top. Same for my blending brush, my BH Cosmetics brush in number 6. I am just going to use the yellow first to blend it out. am going in with my BH number 8 brush, and I'm going in with Bittersweet to pack it in. Now with the same brush that I used for Karma, go right below it and blend it out. With my JH42 brush, I am going in with the shade Icy, and I'm just wetting my brush again, and I'm going to use that as my inner corner highlight. And then with my same brush that I use for my inner corner highlight, I'm just going to put that right there. This gives me sunset vibes to a T. For my waterline, I'm going to use these two eyeliners. So the first one is my LA Girl gel eyeliner in aqua, and then the second one is actually a yellow, and it's my ColourPop cream gel eyeliner in the shade Punch. I'm putting in aqua first into my waterline because I do feel that is too blue. I go in right after and put Punch on top just to brighten it, and I feel like it matches more with Dream. It combines in a lot more. And there you have it. Let me just give you a close-up of the eyes real quick. What do you guys think? I really love, I think this one's my favorite. Okay guys, I just came up with something. I found this pigment and I just can't not put it on, so I'm just gonna use my NYX glitter glue bad boy right there, put it on the back of my hand, pat it out all over my eye, and just put this shit on top. My battery turned off, so I'm gonna tell you what pigment I use. It's the Inglot Pure Pigment Eyeshadow in 114. Beautiful teal blue. I do feel like it gives it that beautiful pop that I needed. Okay, for this one, I'm just gonna use one lip combo just because I don't know what I can do with this. You can probably use like a very dark purple lip, but I don't think it's that wearable unless you want to use it for a festival. You do you. I'm going to do a pink nude, so I'm going in with my Dose of Colors Bear With Me shade. And then with a little bit of orange, I'm using 1969 from Melt Cosmetics. Okay, so this is the final look. My eye is super watery. It's super irritated, but we're gonna power through this because it's the end of the video and we're done. Now, I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know which one was your favorite look. I want to know if you were more into the colorful side or the neutral side. Do you think you're about to get it? Overall, after doing 3 looks with this palette, I do think this palette is so freaking good. I honestly used every single shade in this palette today. So that tells you something. And you know, it's super diverse. You can do whatever you want. I did want to add different things just so it can vamp up, so I could show you that you don't, even though I use the whole palette, you know, using pigments and glitters just vamp up a look, and it, you know, I feel like it's necessary. Fuck it. I highly recommend this palette. Please get it. It's super inexpensive. It's BH Cosmetics. One thing I do wish she did was a brush collab. I would have been all over that because I don't know if you can tell, but I am a BH Cosmetics brushes fanatic. I fucking love their brushes. I have like 3 sets from them already. I think they're super inexpensive, super well worth it, very high quality, and I've washed them so many times, they don't even spike up or like, you know, they don't get ugly. So I totally recommend BH Cosmetics. I have a bunch of stuff from them and I totally love it. This palette for sure, packaging hands down, one of the cutest things ever. Let me know if you're gonna get the palette, if I convince you to get it, and if you think this was super creative. Let me know what you thought about the looks. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell everybody about this video. Go share it with your friends. I'll catch you guys on the next one.